Assalamu alaikum, good evening everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the Heena Siddiqi show on Canada One TV. Well, उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब लोग खुश होंगे, खैरियत से होंगे जहाँ पर भी होंगे और कुछ ही और दिन बचे हैं हमारे इस वेदर के, इस खूबसूरत वेदर के और इंजॉय करें, खुश रहें और फ्लरिश करें अपनी ज़िंदगी में. फोकस ऑन योर सेल्फ एंड फोकस ऑन योर फैमिली. क्योंकि अगर आपका फोकस अपने बच्चों की तरफ, अपनी फैमिली की तरफ होगा तो वी कैन मेक बेटर डिसीजंस फॉर देम एंड डिसीजंस रिगार्डिंग देयर वेल-बीइंग for their future and for the upcoming changes in the society. Well, for that reason, to discuss, we have our special guest tonight in the studio, Bahira Abdussalam, who's going to discuss a lot of information about a special curriculum, SOGI, S-O-G-I, and we're going to talk to her about this curriculum and how it's affecting our children and our future generation. So let me introduce you to Bahira Abdussalam, who is a professional engineer and activist and representing PIAC, Parents Involvement Advisory Committee for Toronto District School Boards. She's a mother, a small business owner, also a former mayoral candidate for the city of Toronto. Well, let's welcome her. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time out and coming to my show once again.
Yeah, it's really my honor to be here speaking to you and your guests. It's a very special TV show, and I enjoy being here with you and talking to everyone.
Thank you so much, Bahira. Like I have seen you in the community and you've been very, very, very active, especially on Twitter, and I have seen you in the protest as well for SOGI. Well, let's talk about SOGI, and we would like to share, because this is a really sensitive and very hot topic and also very I don't know how I'm going to say it, but it's going to affect our generations. This is a very serious matter. Like from your perspective, I want to talk about from your perspective as a parent, as an activist, what is your stand and how do you define SOGI? Is it okay, is it not okay, and how it's gonna affect our children negatively? So let's talk about it.
Actually, this is a very important topic for not only for me as a person, but for many people in our community and many people in Canada in general.
Definitely.
So I have been connecting with lots of parents groups all around Canada, and like people have been showing their concern about our education.
Right.
And it is a global problem. It's not only in Canada, it's around the world.
It's happening all over the countries now.
In England, in Australia, in the United States.
In India as well. And in different countries, people are protesting and, definitely like showing that we exist. So let me just share a little bit some information about what is SOGI. So SOGI stands for Sexual Orientation for Gender Identification, a curriculum that teaches public school students across Canada to celebrate homosexual lifestyle, and that gender is fluid. So in other words, your gender is not dependent on the parts you are born with, but rather what you feel like. That's right?
Yeah, so this ideology, it has been heavily taught and involved in this our public schools.
Okay.
And in all over Canada, we have been seeing like LGBT flags all over, in all the buildings and on schools, inside schools, in the curriculum, and in so what is very simply, it is.
Why do you think it's inappropriate? Like, why do you?
Yeah,
think
so I just want to explain it in a very simple way.
Sure.
So what is taught for kids, which we believe it's very dangerous,
Okay.
that kids are they are being told that you might have been born in a wrong body.
Okay.
So if he's a boy, he might be like a girl, but and then they are asking them.
Okay.
They will be.
What are you
asking
feeling?
them. Yeah, they will not be recognizing their biological sex.
Okay.
As a boy or a girl.
Right.
And they will be asked at school. So the child will decide whether he is. How he feels,
Okay.
what gender he is. So we believe that this ideology, it shouldn't be taught in our schools, because the danger of this, it is actually, it creates a lot of confusion
Okay.
to the children
Okay.
about their identity, who they are.
Okay.
So what's really dangerous as well is being suspicious about their creator, like their creator, like if their creator have been mistaken, which is completely, like, for Muslims and for faith groups, it is unacceptable to
Yes, okay.
to grow this seed inside their hearts, and to be suspicious about like a great power, Allah, who created them,
Okay.
and about being satisfied and in peace
Okay.
about themselves as boy or a girl. So they have been told that you can be choosing. And what is also dangerous is the parental rights.
Okay.
So there are some laws that have been
In place?
yeah, so the children at school or what's happening at school will not be communicated to parents.
Okay, and Bahira, the question coming in my mind is there any certain age that when they can choose, or they can choose by very early age, that I feel like I'm a boy, so I'm gonna be behaving like or dressing up like a boy, a girl?
No, this is something, it's not a choice. Like,
Okay.
it's not by choice.
Okay.
Like, we are either men or women.
Yeah.
So this gender ideology, it is like, we do not approve it.
Right.
Some people would do.
Right.
It's their own business, right?
Right.
It shouldn't be imposed on
All the
all
children.
kids at school.
Okay.
Like religion.
Right.
Religion
It's a very personal thing.
religion.
Yeah.
It is the responsibility of parents to
Right.
teach their kids what religion they want.
Right.
We don't teach this in our public
Curriculum.
school.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing for
Okay.
gender ideology.
Right.
And which is something very dangerous, to confuse kids about their gender or biological sex. And depending on this, they might be taking hormones to change, to make like a transformation. They may be asked to do like surgeries to cut parts of their bodies.
Right.
And it happened to a lot of children, and it is extremely dangerous. It's an experiment. From my point of view,
Right.
it is an experiment. This is so. Honestly, like today, I have been. I received a message. To be very honest, I have to share it with everyone. Like, in some classes where taken for students, there are some religious leaders
Okay.
who are definitely, they are not Muslims, because
Okay.
they are telling the students that this is halal.
Okay, this is appropriate. This
This
is okay.
is halal, not appropriate. Halal. So teaching the religion in a wrong way.
Okay.
This is completely unacceptable.
And where they're teaching this?
Yeah, so there are like, I have the name of the school in Canada.
Is it the private schools or public schools?
No, it's a public school.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So this is considered like against the freedom, the religious freedoms, right? Because everyone have the in Canada,
Right.
as Canadians, we have the right to choose our own religion, and we don't have to impose any kind of school of thought on anyone, right? So this is why we are not allowing this. We are completely against that. We think that this should be outside of the school completely, especially for the our children, right? So this is one thing that.
What about the children's mental health? Do you think is it affecting children's mental health as well?
It is.
Okay.
Definitely, it is affecting the children's mental health, because when the child doesn't know or he is starting to get confused about his identity, it is very complicated, right? Even for an adult to be told that, it's very hard to understand. So why would we tell this to little kids?
Right.
So what I have been looking into this topic for a while, and I've been doing a lot of research and looking into meeting with different people.
Okay.
And there is a movement that I'm very honored to be part of it.
Okay.
We are going to have protests on the 20th of September.
Okay.
Wednesday, 20th of September. So I met with some wonderful people.
And who's doing it?
Yeah, so a gentleman from Ottawa.
Okay.
His name is Kamel El-Sheikh.
Okay.
And a group of people with him. And like this movement is growing.
Okay.
The movement is growing. We have many people are interested to join all over Canada. And so we need to express our concern
to the government.
To the government. Yeah. They need to move, to do something about it, because it's very serious. People are afraid, they are scared. They're starting to pull out their children from schools and to homeschool them or to find an alternative. Because they are, but it shouldn't be this way. Like we should be, the government and the officials should be taking action, because this is why they are there. They are there to represent people and to. So I see this as a kind of like dictatorship.
Okay.
When the government doesn't take action, doesn't represent people, oppress people, and prevent them from freedom of expression to express their concern. This is not Canadian values, right? Okay. In Canada, we are supposed to be free to choose, free to express our opinion, and free to protect our children from those dangers. So the danger, which is like what is more dangerous, is why, like when you ask why children at this age, right? So at this
and they're
age,
teaching from kindergarten.
Okay, so like you know the LGBT community.
Yes.
So there are infiltration into the LGBT community from groups and activists who are trying to add a new sexual orientation, which is attraction to children, pedophilia.
Oh my God.
So they are trying to normalize pedophilia.
Okay.
And trying to, and this is how this is happening now, and how it is very dangerous, and we have to protect our children from that. Like we shouldn't expose any children about any sexual materials or sexual ideology, This should be completely out of scope. And unfortunately, we have found books in the libraries, and they have been sharing this, like many parents, they shared that with us. It's completely unacceptable to have those materials in our school.
So Bahira, what do you think? There should be any certain number of age a kid should be exposed to these type of information, or this what do you call it, SOGI curriculum? Do you think there should be a certain number of it, or not at all? It should not be introduced at all. What do you think?
No, I'm completely against teaching gender ideology
at all.
I don't.
So you boycott it?
No, I don't think that this is something that
not appropriate.
No, this is not
acceptable.
No, this is not acceptable because.
Is it because of the faith, or is it because that's what you don't believe in? Because faith is a thing, but some people, they do not belong to Islam, but they still refuse to accept this ideology.
Yeah, no, it is not something. Of course, we have our own religion and our own way of life.
Okay.
But from what I see is that this ideology, it initiated as a way for oppressing people, from taking away women's rights and children's rights.
Okay.
It is completely the opposite of what they claim. So they are claiming that we are giving the freedom for people. We are giving them freedom of choice of their gender. You are a man, you can be a woman. Okay? And so what happened in reality, they tried this freedom. We know as Muslims, it is against our faith. But in the West, we said, okay, let them do what they want. Everybody is free. They want to do it, let them do it. We will do what we want, and everybody is free. So what happened when people started doing that, like men, they identify themselves as women. So now they have the right to go into women private spaces, into women prisons, into women sports. So the women who have been like working hard in order to win medals in sport, now a biological man goes and identify as a woman and wins all so now the women are trying to say, oh, where are our rights? Women are attacked into washrooms, into prisons, and they are not feeling safe. So there is now there is a movement to push back and to say, no, we
don't want that.
Those are not protecting the rights of women. This is not. This is against women's rights, and this is a reality. Another thing, that this is oppressing people, because now when you say this in public, you will be attacked. Okay, and I was attacked, and everybody who speaks like I'm saying, which is the sense, which is like if you just say that, like the facts, like someone was a professor of biology. He was fired from his job just for teaching biology. That he is saying that there are only two genders, nothing else exists. Like this is biological fact. The teaching biological fact now became an offense that you can be fired for.
Wow.
And, and I personally, I have received a lot of insults, a lot of death threats.
Is it from the LGBT community or from everyone in general?
So, okay, to be honest, we are not against any community. We are with the freedom for anyone. Anyone is free. Do whatever you want. What we are calling for, stay away of our children. Stay away of the kids. Don't teach them. We need our freedom. right? So I think that it is like those people are, it is kind of a political
Right.
movement that
Yeah.
they are trying just to push back. But I don't think that,
We'll talk about more on the government side,
yeah.
but right now, Bahira, it's time for us to take a break and we will be back shortly. You don't go anywhere, keep watching the show. Welcome back to the Heena Siddiqi show on Canada One TV. Tonight I have with me Bahira Abdussalam, who is a professional engineer, an activist and representing PIAC, Parents Involvement Advisory Committee for Toronto District School Board. Also a mother, a small business owner, also a former mayoral candidate for the city of Toronto. Welcome back, Bahira.
Welcome, thank you.
Well, we have shared a lot of information with our audience about the school curriculum and how it is affecting the children and the parents too. Well, now we were talking about government's role, right? So it's the education matters. How do you see the government, the provincial government, is providing the help or the support to the school, and what do you think the changes can be done to make it even better?
Okay, so let me explain
How they're contributing.
yeah, so let me explain that the education, definitely it is a provincial, right? But we notice that this is happening all over the country.
Yeah.
It means that the federal government
Is also involved.
yeah,
Yes.
they have a policy.
Right.
So the Canadian government is pushing very hard towards this kind of LGBTQ rights. And
How government's going to benefit from it? What's their benefit for promoting this agenda?
Okay, so what happens is that our government is connected with the World Economic Forum,
Okay.
which is controlling the
Population?
No, they are controlling the businesses,
Okay.
and they have lots of interest in
Okay.
making money of a business opportunity. But
Right.
to make a business, it has to be in an ethical way,
Okay.
right? It's okay to make business,
Right.
but first of all, respecting choices of people,
Right.
and how to make money, but in an ethical way.
Okay.
So when we see our kids that when they transform their gender,
Right.
so they have to get hormones,
Okay.
hormone therapy, and then some industries are gonna benefit. No matter what happens to children, this is not acceptable.
Okay.
All right, and also
So like the medical treatment, supporting hormonal medication,
Of course,
or,
it's a
or
huge
the
business.
pharmaceutical industry.
yeah, it's
basically.
a huge business.
Right.
Also, the surgeries that
Yes.
happen due to this.
The medical field. The
Yeah.
medical, okay.
and most importantly, that keeping the next generation away from the real education that they need to have, right? When you start giving them this information, trying to let them explore their gender, their identity, and then taking hormones and putting them into an experiment and taking them away from their purpose of education, that
Right.
they need to learn skills that will let them be leaders in the future.
Right.
So when they don't get this kind of education that will strengthen the family values, that will be the foundation of future leaders, right? So this is not acceptable, because when governments or when they don't want those people to be aware of what's happening, so this is very dangerous, right?
Okay.
So this is what how I see it.
Bahira, what about our leaders, our politicians? What role do you think they can play, or they supposed to play? How appropriate it is to blame them or not to blame them for this curriculum or their contribution towards, like, bringing the awareness and bringing the education, that whether it's good or bad, or what they are doing? What do you think?
So,
what is the situation?
What is really surprising and shocking is the silence of those officials. No one is taking responsibility. Very few, honestly, very few leaders, they spoke up.
Okay.
But what we see is the Prime Minister of Canada is pushing very hard towards LGBTQ rights,
Okay.
and LGBT, and the federal government.
Okay.
They are pushing very hard towards that.
Okay.
And now we are witnessing a change.
Okay.
What is the change is that LGBT rights are superior to all other rights. All other rights.
How?
How? Like, for example, in the Toronto District School Board,
Right.
they were discussing drag queen show,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So drag queen show, it is like a personality from LGBTQ community, like a gay man and dressing like a woman and
Right.
giving stories for kids. And definitely there is a message.
Right.
The message is to raise a generation to be accepting, to become like this person when they grow up, and they
Right.
are like they are teaching them their ideology in this very own way,
Right.
which is completely unacceptable to be taught to little kids.
Okay.
So we are against those shows to be in our schools.
Okay.
And in the United States, there are some
Yes.
states, they prevented it. So when they proposed this in TDSB,
Right.
and people are asking for an opt-out option,
Right.
take away our kids from this show.
Right. We don't want to
They-
be a part of this show.
They
our
are
children.
saying no.
It's mandatory.
This is you are discriminating against us. So it means that you think your religion give you the right to discriminate against us. No, you don't have the right to opt-out option. Your kids have to attend this, this is crazy, right?
Right.
And it is. It is approved by the United Nations. It is approved by the Ontario Human Rights Commission.
Wow.
And this is why people, and this is just a small example,
Right.
a very small example.
Yeah, right.
So,
So we have seen that there are many content related to the LGBTQ community and the other communities, which is like gender fluid. So it's called like 10,000 dresses, rainbow songs in the kindergarten classes. They're singing and teaching the very young kids. Books about transgender, and I think this SOGI curriculum started in BC, British Columbia, in 2016, and now it's spreading out throughout the Canada. And what about kids? How they are reacting to it? Probably they will be reacting emotionally because they will be probably overwhelmed. What do you think about it? As we have read in the articles and from the parents as well, from their personal experiences, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so I just want to...
as you have been going to a lot of, rallies and talking to so many people, and also you're a part of the Parents Involvement Advisory Committee for TDSP, right?
Yeah, so I just want to mention that Ontario is the first province all over North America who included this gender ideology in the law, in the Human Rights Code and in the law. So like they have been working very hard until we reached this stage, and now when this agenda is pushed to an extreme position, that it is an extreme right now. We heard teachers disciplining students and telling them it is disgusting that you haven't attended the Pride show, Muslim students, just because they were absent, and she was telling them that your parents, you have to teach them. She has been telling them, teach your parents, they don't understand. So creating this hate between parents and students, telling the students that those are secrets, don't tell your family, right? Bribing them and asking them, don't talk to your parents. This is extremely dangerous. We cannot accept this to happen. This is it's a danger to the family structure and to the respect that should be, and the protection. Who would protect the children more than their parents?
Definitely.
So personally, I see that what is happening is very similar to what has been happening to the indigenous people. That when the kids were taken away from their families, to take away their language, their culture, their roots, and cut the roots between the parent and the child. This is happening again in a very different way.
In a very political and very formal manner.
No, but by the way, some kids, when they do this transformation, and if their parents object, they put them in jail. It happened in Alberta. A man was put in jail because he said that, oh no, I do not accept what's happening. He had a very young daughter, 10 years old, and they convinced her. They show her a movie, and they convinced her. And when the parents said no, he was put in jail. Thanks God he is out now. And if parents stay silent, it is not gonna help. It's gonna help anyone. They will go through the same danger. So we have to take action, everybody. We are inviting activists from all communities to join us, and we need to put an end to that.
Definitely. Well, that was a lot of information about the government, about the leaders, about what's happening in school. Now let's come back to the parents now. Some parents do want it, and they really want to, because some families are different. Some families are gay, lesbian, LGBT, and whatsoever, and they feel deprived. They feel that their children or other children needs to understand that there are families like them exist and has to be a part of the society. So to educate them, they want this information to be shared in the school. So from the beginning, children should be educated for this, for this acceptance in the community. So what do you think, what other choices are there, like, to help the children to understand? Because I think when we know something from the childhood, we accept it. And a lot of population are still in the denial of the gender fluidity, or I would say that, this a different community. They don't believe in it. They are totally, like the way you're saying, you're not accepting it, but there are the other communities who are saying that this should be introduced. So what do you think, like what we can do something to solve the problem?
Yeah, so it is very simple. The solution for this problem is very simple. Very simply, we need to teach students to accept others regardless of anything, how they look like, how they think, what they believe, how they dress. It is acceptance and respect. This is what we need to teach every child, to be accepting others. We are not asking to remove some kids or to humiliate anyone or to disrespect anyone. Respect has to be there. We have to treat everybody equally, and we have to be teaching our children to love everyone. No, we are not promoting for hate.
Right.
We are promoting for love.
Right.
And for acceptance. Okay? So we don't have to teach our children at schools Islam in order not to be Islamophobic.
Right.
We don't have to teach them Judaism or Christianity,
right,
in order to accept Christians and respect them,
right?
The same way, we don't need to teach them gender ideology in order to accept people who believe that they can be of different genders. So it is the same thing. Like saying that they have to learn it and they have to promote it in the schools so they will be accepted, this is completely illogic. Like if you think by
you think
logic,
that's not logical.
it is not logical. It is obviously, it's an agenda that is pushed everywhere just to and there is a plan that is behind that we
What is the
shouldn't.
plan then?
The plan is to silence people.
Okay. How?
Because
why?
Yeah, why? For authority.
Okay.
Political authority. Okay, so if you are saying no,
okay,
you are against the law.
All right.
So you will be accountable. However, you did nothing.
Right.
You are saying the truth. You are
Right.
saying what you believe.
Right.
This is my freedom of expression.
Right.
Where is the freedom of expression that is the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom?
Right.
Right. This is what we signed up for being Canadian,
Right.
because we have our freedoms.
Right.
And this is what brought me here to this country. From
Choices, freedom. Yes.
Yeah, because I thought that Canada is a leader for the freedom.
Okay.
And this is why I used to support the Liberal Party of Canada, and no more.
No more?
No more.
No more?
No. No.
Okay.
No. When I am called names just because I'm expressing my opinions,
right,
and none of them is standing by my side, and none of them is supporting me, and I have been called all kind of threats. Okay.
To be quiet.
Yeah, to be not to say that we need to protect our children. It's not only me, everybody else.
Right.
And many people are calling for their freedom,
right,
for choice,
Right.
The government is oppressing them.
Right.
So this is not.
So, Bahira, what kind of support you're seeking from the officials, from the community, or from the organization?
Yeah. So our officials.
Okay.
I have a very strong message for them.
Okay.
That you will be held accountable.
All right.
You are accountable.
Yes.
Your silence means that you are supporting oppressing people. You are supporting what is happening to our children at schools. You are supporting people who are pedophiles to attack our children
Right.
in the schools. Why are you silent? Why you don't speak up?
Right.
When we are proving and telling you that there is an agenda and there is a problem in our education,
Right.
and you are ignoring this.
Right.
So each one of you is accountable. Whether
Right.
you are
Okay.
an elected official in the provincial,
Right.
federal government, councillor,
Right.
mayor,
Right.
everyone is responsible, right? So ignoring this, our children,
Right.
ignoring people who are calling for the protection of the children,
Right.
it is unacceptable.
Okay.
So it means that either you are pushing and responsible of this agenda and you are part of this system,
Right.
or you are afraid to speak up, which is it's just putting you also accountable. So this is for the officials, and for people,
Right.
I am also saying the same thing.
Right.
If you are silent,
Right.
even if you don't see or feel the threat to your own child,
Right.
you are accountable because you have a responsibility.
Right.
If you have the knowledge and you have the information,
Right.
about what is happening, if you don't have the information, educate yourself.
Okay.
Read, see, check what is happening. Reach out to me and check my Twitter, and I'm sharing a lot of information.
Sure.
About like many experts that have been researching in this field and in this area, and they have proofs of a lot of like dangers that our children are exposed to.
Right.
So we have a big problem in our education system,
Right.
and the control of school boards, and
Right.
how it is designed, and how they are getting third-party like organizations,
Yeah.
which are not monitored,
Right.
to put information in our education system, which is not monitored.
Right.
Right. So if the Minister of Education doesn't have a power
Right.
over the school board, and the province doesn't have the power, they claim that they
Right.
don't have, and the federal government they are claiming they don't have a power of school board, who will have the power?
Right.
Right?
Right.
And the parents are supposed to be putting school boards accountable. So they
Right.
have committees.
Right.
And this is, I'm encouraging all parents,
Right.
go to your school, be a part of the parent council.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
You have to
be the part of the system, so you can just raise your voice as well.
Of course.
With the power.
Of course.
Right. Thank you so much, Bahira. That's a really great information. And also, we have got your views on this curriculum, which is called SOGI, stands for Sexual Orientation for Gender Identification. I am definitely hoping that a lot of parents are watching, and they will be connecting with you in your moment, hopefully joining you in this moment and sharing their thoughts with you, what they think about SOGI, and is it okay or is it not okay to be sharing with our children. Well, I hope you like our today's episode, and I'm very grateful that you have joined us tonight. Any final thoughts for our audience?
Thank you so much. Yeah, so finally, I want to remind our audience, if you want to connect with me, my name on my Twitter handle is Bahira R. I'm inviting everyone to join us in September 20, Wednesday, September 20 at 9 a.m. all over Canada, and we are expanding also to the United States. In every city, in every major city, in every province, we need to raise our voice, we need to show our concern, and if there are any leaders from the community that want to join the movement, please reach out to us, and we will be very happy to expand and answer any questions and connect you with the team. We have a wonderful team working on this, so we will be announcing the website and the team, and it's very great. They are doing great effort, and I'm very blessed and honored to be a part of this movement.
Thank you so much, Bahira, and I hope to see you again.
Thank you. Show. Thank you so much.
So it was Bahira Abdussalam with us, a professional engineer, activist, and representing PIAC, Parents Involvement Advisory Committee for Toronto District School Board, a mother and a small business owner, also a former mayoral candidate for the City of Toronto. Well, my job is to bring all the current updates, topics, concern, and my perspective and people's perspective to this platform, so you all can get benefit and be aware of what's happening in our city, in our country. I hope you got a lot of information about this SOGI curriculum, which stands for Sexual Orientation for Gender Identification. That is my role and responsibility, to educate, to empower, and to spread the information amongst all, which we all have a different perspective to see things, to observe things, and to learn from it. This was Bahira Abdussalam's personal views on SOGI. What about yours? Don't forget to write me at Heena Siddiqi 007 at gmail.com. I will looking forward for your opinion. And also, if you want to be a part of my show and want to share your thoughts on this curriculum and want to join me on my show, then you're most welcome. Don't forget to write me again on the same email address. I hope you like our today's episode, and we'll be looking forward to see you next week on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Canada One TV. Till then, take care, good night, Shaba Khair, Allah Hafiz, keep watching Canada One TV.